Welcome to the second part here, and thank you for joining us. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at three components in this training. We're going to be looking at what is growth thinking. We've covered some of that in the past, and we'll always continue this as a reminder and upgrades to the information that moves along. The second part is how to use growth thinking, and finally is how to best use it through different optimizations. So let's get started on the first part here, which what is growth thinking about? So growth thinking is essentially a fast, easy, and simple way to prototype growth hacks. It enables a growth hack by visualizing the growth hack in abstract and then detailing it into a systematic approach. This systematic approach is the design system that is used to think of a growth idea and convert it into action as quickly and cost effective as possible. This makes it easy to develop and improve growth hacks and generate new and better ones as we move along. There are three ultimate outcomes that come out of this process as the large benefits. Our final goal is to create exponential growth, and that's done through taking an idea and transforming it into action, and that's going from having a very broad idea and bringing it into detail so we can execute it, thinking at scale to ensure that those growth hacks that we develop can actually scale and move into exponential growth, and through the rapid prototyping system, which we're going to be talking about, you'll save a ton of time and money. The benefits that allow this to take place is the visual design system, and it has some very unique characteristics to it. First, it's a 100% visual design system that allows you to unleash your creativity. It allows you to tap into ideas that you've had, ideas you may have, and ideas that you'll be actually developing in the future through the system. And that brings us to the second part, which is the systemization of the design system itself. It's a structured and sequenced system that is quickly designed to take ideas directly into action and implement those growth hacks. It also optimizes them by instantly finding improvements, generating new, better growth hacks, and ensuring that the efforts put in are very little with massive disproportionate actual results from the growth hacks you develop. Finally, this is all overlaid with a rapid development system. It's built on the 1-5-20 learning rule, which we're going to talk about a little bit more, which is about creating a faster, better way to generate new and better hacks at every single corner of the design system. Finally is collaboration. The collaboration in this system works in a few ways. One is that you can work directly with a team, one-to-one. You can work with a remote team, or you can even work independently and get feedback from others that help you improve on a hack before you actually implement it. One of the best collaboration points behind this system is if you're a strategic thinker, you're developing the growth hack and you want to give it to somebody to implement it, everything is all in one place and ready to go. And the complete opposite, if you are a technical guy and you need to think strategically and you want to develop it and then turn it into specifications so it can be developed in whatever way that growth hack may look like, this system allows you to work in both ways. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up on this system. So some of you maybe have used or using or heard of some very popular methodologies out there. So things like sprint, design thinking, business model canvas, or the value proposition design. And the reason I mention this to you is that growth thinking does not compete, but rather complements these type of methodologies. And I'm going to explain that to you in a little bit more detail over here. We have four types of methodologies that exist. There's the first type, which are product and service design methodologies. So that's like your design thinking, your sprint design, is a ton of different ones out there, but their objective is helping you design a product or service. The second type are like middleware or middle methodologies that help you manage projects. So this is things like Scrum, Agile, Waterfall, and so forth. And those are some, I'm sure you've used some of them or heard of some of them in the past. The next are ones designed to build companies, right? So that's your value proposition design, your business model canvas. But what none of these methodologies enable you to do is to actually grow an organization. And that's where growth thinking comes into play. Now, growth thinking can be used independently without you ever using any of these methodologies, and it will still work. Or you can use it to complement on top of these existing methodologies that will help you utilize the existing methodologies and use growth thinking to do it. So just as a reminder that it could work completely independent of any of these. You don't have to use any of these, don't have to be adding on to any of these, but if you are, they're perfectly complementary to one another.